Welcome to the Grease Chain Podcast with your host, Josh.
And Jenny, an enthusiast hangout.
On today's episode, it's different. We are finally experimenting with a video episode. I will probably be able to pull the audio from this too, and maybe I'll do like an audio version. I don't know. I just throw us on YouTube and just go with it. But yeah, so as you see, you can see us for the first time. If you're watching this on YouTube, which this episode will be at, you see me plenty of times doing the roller coaster things. But last week we didn't do an episode because it was a holiday week. Jenny did some traveling, and I went out of town for camping. But that's what I want to get to. Jenny, do you want to kind of tell us what you did last week?
Yeah. So actually last week on Wednesday, I had some friends who came up from Florida and we ended up going to Cedar Point for the whole day, which was a lot of fun. It was honestly perfect weather. It didn't rain the whole day while we were there. I know it rained so my boyfriend drove up from the Cincinnati area and he said it rained on his way there, but we didn't had any rain, which was awesome.
That's cool.
Um,
So your
yeah.
friends have been to Cedar Point before?
So one of them had actually never been to Cedar Point. So our goal was to get him on all the coasters. Obviously, Top Thrill 2 wasn't open, so that was unfortunate. Yeah.
Right.
He was really upset about that. But my other friend had not been there since I think he said 2016, I want to say.
Wow. Okay.
So Val Raven was his last new credit there.
So
So
Val Raven, Still Vengeance,
yeah,
and what year did Gatekeeper open? That was like
2013.
2013.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then he needed Wild Mouse too. That was the other
That's
I
right.
think the
Wild
only other
Mouse.
one. Yeah.
You know, I've only
This
heard that
yeah.
one time.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a really good day. We got on everything that we wanted to ride. So lines weren't too bad. One thing I've noticed, especially like in the morning, is that it seems like Steel Vengeance never opens right when the park opens.
Yeah.
So
Even though everyone rushes back there.
yeah, so we walked back there and, it's like a mile-long walk from from the parking lot up front back there, which interestingly enough, the Magnum gate was not open. So they forced us to park. Well, the Magnum gate wasn't an option for people coming in unless you were at the hotel.
I was gonna say usually it's
Yeah.
just the hotel guests or
That's what
vacation.
yeah. Well,
Okay.
you used to be able to go just drive along Perimeter Road and just park back there, but I'm thinking maybe it was because the water park hasn't opened or hadn't opened yet for the season, so
Yeah.
maybe that was it. But we walked all the way back to Steel Vengeance and they were testing it and everything, but it didn't open for maybe like another hour. So we went to Maverick, got on that. We did Millennium Force, Rougarou, Iron Dragon. Then my boyfriend showed up and we did I think Steel Vengeance was the next one.
Okay.
And then we just kind of walked up the Gemini midway past Top Thrill 2. I almost said Dragster again.
Right. I think
Still.
everyone still calls it
Yeah.
Dragster.
But we hit everything. Raptor was closed for pretty much the whole day, and then they got it running later. And that was actually my friend Travis. That was what he was most excited for. So
Okay, I was gonna ask, did he at least get on everything that was open?
yes.
Okay.
The only credit he didn't get that he wanted to get was Top Thrill 2.
Okay. So out of all the coasters he rode, what was his favorite?
So I know it wasn't Maverick. He was not a fan. That was our first ride too. But I I think Raptor was probably his favorite out of all of them, just because he loves like a good B&M invert. So that
Okay.
was what he was most excited for. And then I think
Yeah.
for Austin, my other friend, I would say Steel Vengeance was probably his favorite.
Okay. Yeah, you can't go wrong with any of those. I actually, have a trip coming up to Cedar Point. That's what we're doing for our vacation this year. We're just kind of doing a Ohio staycation. We're going up there for a week, so we're gonna do like Cedar Point. We're gonna do like the islands and whatnot. So
Oh, that'll be fun.
yeah, and like I just enjoy it up there. It's close to home. It's you know something to do, but.
Yeah, definitely.
So after that, did you like come back home or did you go anywhere else?
Yeah, so I actually had to work the next day, which was kind of crazy because I got home so
Monday
late.
or
Yeah, I worked Monday and Tuesday, took Wednesday off to go to Cedar Point, and then worked Thursday morning at 7 a.m., which was awful trying to get up. I definitely
wait,
needed a
how late was Cedar Point
Celsius.
open? Was it like 8 p.m.?
8, yeah, but I mean, with, all the shopping you wanna do at the end of the night and just walking out of the park, I mean, it was probably 8:45 by the time we left, and
Right.
I live in Columbus, so it was like a 2-hour and 15-minute drive home.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, and by the time we got back, it was like 11 o'clock, so it was pretty late, and then we stayed up for a bit, but, so then I worked Thursday, and then Thursday night, I drove to my parents' house in Akron, and my dad and I went on a trip the next morning. So we actually left around 6 a.m. to drive out to Dorney because I had really wanted to ride Iron Menace. I've ridden every other ride at Dorney, so that was on my list to just kind of see how it is and compare it to the other dive coasters that I've been on.
Okay.
So with that, it was kind of a story. So, um,
Please do tell.
oh yeah. So that was the first thing we went to once we got to the park because obviously, like, I want to get the credit, and that was the main reason we were there. So we walked back there. It's over. They redid the area over there, so it's kind of like a new theme. Or it wasn't really themed
I'll be
before, I
honest,
guess.
I've never been to Dorney, so
Oh, okay.
this is all new to me. So
Okay.
here's the
Well,
picture.
yeah. They called it Steel Yard, and I actually took a bunch of pictures of it, so I'll have to show you later, but, they rethemed it to, like, a steel yard area,
Mhm.
so the whole theming of this ride is supposed to be kind of uh, like, paranormal activity type of thing, which is kinda
Yeah.
cool. So you get in line, and I thought that they did a really good job with the theming because they had, like, a car, in the station, they had actual, like, music playing and an audio recording, which was kinda cool because it was like a spirit that's like, get out." Like, it was kinda cool when the train would leave the station.
Okay.
But anyway, we got in line, and we're watching it go, and, like, it seems like it's running pretty well, and then all of a sudden, um, they stopped running it, and we were like, "Okay, well, I wonder how long it's gonna be down for." So, we were waiting and waiting, and then they finally sent an empty train so they could get the people off the train that was waiting on the brakes. So then after that, it just kinda sat there and nothing was happening. At
Mhm.
this point, we had already waited like a half hour, and I obviously didn't wanna get out of line because I want my
Yeah.
credit.
Well, yeah,
So
especially when you have to wait that long.
exactly. Like, I don't wanna get out of line and have to wait that long again.
Yeah.
So we decided to stay. Eventually, a lot of people were leaving line, so we ended up moving up pretty far in the line, which was good, and then we got up kinda close to the station. We were on, like, the stairs going up towards it, and then they started testing it, which was good. I was like, "Okay, we're probably gonna get to ride." So, then they finally open it, and they send 2 trains with people, and then we're getting on the next train, so this is the 3rd train.
So they have 3 trains, right?
They have 2.
Oh, 2, okay, okay.
That I'm aware of, yeah. I think it's 'cause they don't have a mid-course like
Yeah.
most coasters do, so they only
It
have
looks like a
2.
very short coaster.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was definitely very short. So we get on the ride, and they checked restraints and everything, and they're about to send it, and, the station audio is playing, so, like, it's that weird voice telling us to get out,
Yeah,
and
get
then
out.
yeah, I actually took a video of it, which I don't know if I sent you that or not, but we'll have to post that on Fye Coasters for people to see.
Yeah,
Um,
let's see, do
I
you
think
remember which video that was it the one of you in the station?
yeah, it was the one in the station.
Okay, I
I
think I
think I might
have
have
that
sent you multiple
right
ones.
yeah, I think I have it right here. I can,
Oh,
let me I wonder if
would
I
the
can
audio work if we
I
share
don't
it?
know. Let's
Okay,
see.
we're about to find out.
Let me try to share this with you guys really quick. Okay, so guys, and this is a new software. So
Yeah.
it might look familiar.
Yeah.
See,
Very familiar.
present. Let's see, video file. Can I do that?
Maybe.
Oh, I can. So let's see. I go here,
Okay.
here. I just downloaded the video.
Okay.
Let me click this button here. Click here.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna continue just because my story is so long.
No, you're good. I actually got it right here. So I
Oh,
believe
wait,
it.
you already have it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it'll mute us. Hang on.
Okay.
Was that the clip?
I think that was one of them, but I might have sent you another one or something. I don't know. I'll have to look
Okay,
through my
cool. Well,
videos.
hopefully you guys were able to hear that, but that is pretty cool. So
Yeah. So
continue
we
with your story.
so we got on the ride and they started playing the music and sound effects and stuff, and then you know how on dive coasters, which you've ridden Valraven, so
Oh yeah,
you know how they have the gate that's up front and then
yeah,
it drops or
yeah.
opens like that. So it never did that. And we're just sitting there and the music stopped and we're like, what's going on? So then of course they bring the floor back up and they tell us to get off. They said it broke down. So
This
we
just
get
ended
off.
the year for new coasters.
I know, it's just not. But hey, at least theirs was running.
Yeah,
Um, so we get off, and then I had to ask the ride ops if we could go back in line because they hadn't opened the gates. It was kind of weird. And then they were like, "Oh yeah, go ahead." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I've waited an hour and a half at this point, I think.
yeah.
I wanna ride this." So then we're waiting a lot longer, and the supervisor comes over and he said that he was told that they have to empty the queue, so everyone get out of line. Yeah. At this point, I mean, we had waited a long time, so we were
Yeah.
upset because we were on the
But
ride and then
I
yeah.
drove from California to get here.
I mean, drove from Ohio, it was like, what, a 6-hour drive or something? It
For
was
you, I think it's like 8 for me.
yeah, I mean, well, I drove from Columbus to Akron the night before, so it probably would have been longer, but
Oh, 10 maybe.
yeah. Yeah. So, they ended up getting like, clearing the queue, but I asked the supervisor, I said, "Hey, I mean, we were on the ride, and we didn't get to go on, we waited this long." I was really nice about it. I said,
Yeah,
"We drove from Ohio, is there anything you can do for us to make it so we won't have to wait in line again when it reopens?" So he said, "Just wait right there," and he came back and gave us 2 one-time fast lanes, which was awesome. So, thank you to I think his name was Jalen. If you're
okay.
watching this, Jalen, thank you for those 2 one-time fast lanes because that was awesome.
Now, question, because I've never been to Dorney. I know at
Mhm.
like Cedar Point, whenever that happens, unless it's on like Steel Vengeance, or I assume it'll be Top Thrill 2, on the little card it says valid for blah 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 rides, except for like Steel Vengeance or Top Thrill 2. Did it have any rides that wasn't valid for?
I don't think so, 'cause I looked at it and I was thinking, "Okay, well, it's a new ride, is it even
Yeah,
valid for this?"
because usually Cedar Fair does that. Like,
Yeah, they do.
unless it happens on the rise, like say you're on Steel Vengeance and that happens and they give out cards at the exit, that's different. But I've been to Cedar Point before. I think it was Gatekeeper, and
Okay.
that happens and they hand you out the general card that says good for 2 people from the line pass, except for Steel Vengeance.
Yeah, no, I've definitely seen that before. I know exactly what you're talking about,
Yeah, at
and
least I
when
know I'm
I
not crazy.
yeah, no, and when I've won the tweet up that Tony Clark does, I've seen ones where it's not valid on certain rides too. Like, I
Yeah,
think Steel Vengeance was one of those. So I definitely get what you're saying. But
yeah,
no,
and
it wasn't
we
one
all
of
know
those.
Top Throw 2 will probably be on one of those.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Once they reopen. But
Yeah.
anyway, so we get out of line, and then they start testing it again after maybe, like, 10 or 15 minutes, and they're
We
sending
can't
a bunch of
test when people
cyclists.
are in line, so let's get them out and let's reopen it.
Right, right, I was so confused. So then they end up reopening it, and we didn't even have to use the fast lanes because we were right there
Yeah.
already. So we got on the ride. My opinion, I thought it was a fun ride, but I thought it was just kind of short. I mean, there's no
Yeah,
mid course on it. I think that it does a lot for it being like such a short duration of a ride, but my favorite dive coaster's probably Valravn out of all of them,
yeah.
just because it's the longest. Um,
What other dive coaster have I rode? I think
have
Valravn.
you been to Busch Gardens, Tampa,
No,
or Williamsburg?
no.
Okay. I've ridden Shikra and Griffin both, and I think I liked Shikra better than Griffin, if I
I'm
remember
thinking of wing
correctly.
coasters. I've rode every single wing coaster.
Okay. Yeah. You probably haven't ridden any other dive coasters. Have I ridden any?
No, I haven't been to
I
Canada's
can't.
Wonderland.
Oh, wait a minute. You know what? Canada's Wonderlands was my favorite. Yukon. I'm
Was it
sorry.
on strike? No, you're good.
Yeah, that was definitely my favorite. I forgot about that one. I rode that a couple years ago. That was pretty
It's
good.
on my bucket list later this year or next year. I need to get my passport. So
You definitely need to go there. It's a
it's
good
only
park.
8 hours from my driveway, so it's not bad.
There you go. It's not that bad at all. But yeah, so it was a good visit to Dorney. We got to ride Steel Force too. I
Well, let
rode
me ask
Demon
you
Drop.
something. So, what? Because if you notice in the last couple of years, not just at KI or Cedar Point, but other Cedar Fair parks,
Hmm.
Cedar Fair's theming.
Yeah.
How was the theming?
So I definitely could tell that they put in the effort, at least for Iron Menace. As far as theming anywhere else in the park, really nothing.
Yeah.
My opinion, but
Well,
I
and
mean,
that's just how it is. It's like, hey, it's a brand new ride and or area.
mhm,
Let's spruce it up this year, and then we'll never touch it again.
yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. And I mean, we rode Demon Drop, which came from Cedar Point. I don't know if you ever rode it at Cedar
No,
Point.
that ride looks amazing. It really does.
I had to ride it, so I actually was wearing a Demon Drop shirt that I bought at Dorney several years ago that
No
said
way.
it said Dorney Park Demon Drop, we recycle.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I had to wear it.
Yeah.
But we ended up so I rode that by myself because my dad was not about to ride Demon Drop. He said
So
no.
Demon Drop, you're just like sitting on a bench. Are you buckled in, or is it a lap bar, or what?
It's an over the shoulder.
Over. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. It's honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the ride. I just wanted to ride it just since I was wearing the shirt.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I mean, it's a unique ride too. Like you don't see that anywhere else. I mean, they
Yeah.
had one at Geauga Lake way back. I don't know what it was called, but they definitely had one there.
It
And
wasn't
that's
that same one, was it?
no,
Okay.
I don't think so. Because I think Cedar Point had theirs and so did Geauga Lake.
Yeah.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so it was a good visit to Dorney. I bought some merchandise too while I was there. And then we ended up driving out to New Jersey after that, which I don't know if you've been to Six Flags Great Adventure before.
So how far is that from Dorney?
So it really wasn't too bad. I want to say we drove maybe like it's probably like 2.5
Oh,
hours, maybe. It really wasn't bad. I think there was a little traffic going that way just because the
it's
New
Jersey.
Jersey Turnpike gets kind of crazy and like around Philly in that area. But yeah, so we ended up going to Six Flags the next day, and my goal with going to Six Flags was getting the credit for Jersey Devil Coaster because I had not ridden that one yet.
And that's
And
what that's a couple years old, right?
was it last year or the year before? I can't remember.
I think it was 2 years ago.
Was it? I don't know why I can't remember.
I can look it up really quick.
Yeah, it's been a few years since I've been out to that park, so I feel like that's possible. But I've ridden other single rail coasters. I rode the one at Six Flags Magic Mountain and
Ooh,
the
it
one.
actually opened June 9th, 21. So it
Oh,
opened up
okay,
during
so it's
COVID.
been open like a while. Okay.
That's what I was gonna say. I think it was one of those coasters that opened during COVID, and then it like
Yeah.
didn't open.
I think yeah. So I wanted to compare it because I've ridden the one at Magic Mountain, which is Wonder Woman, and then well, actually the one in Texas is also Wonder
I haven't
Woman.
rode a single rail coaster yet. They
My
look
so They are fun. So, my favorite out of the 3, and I don't know if any of them are clones or not, I'm gonna have to that I'll have to look up too because I can't remember. But my favorite was Magic Mountain, and I don't know if it was just because it felt longer or what the story was, but I just really liked that one a lot. I mean,
Mhm.
Jersey Devil was fun. I got 3 rides on it in the morning. We went there first thinking, "Okay, might as well just hit it up first." They were only running 1 train, so that makes wait times longer,
Yeah.
but I was able to get 3 rides on it, before it got kinda busy.
And the station, isn't it like a continuously moving station? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if I took a video for you or not, but
Yeah, you're good. I mean, do you
yeah.
think like the moving stations help at all?
Personally, it just depends because I think it can be kinda difficult for certain people to get into the restraint if it's
Yeah.
moving and getting in and out. Um, like, let's say someone had, like, problems with their back or their legs or something. I mean, it's gonna be difficult to get in and out, but I guess they can always stop it in the station for that type of person.
Yeah.
But I think personally, like, it doesn't really help as far as wait times. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I have no idea. There's
The
none
ride
around.
ops
So.
the ride ops were telling us not to pull down the restraint too, and I'm like, "Why wouldn't I pull it down so you can then check it?" So I don't
Maybe
know
there's
what's
like a
going on.
sensor in a certain area of the station. If you pull it
Maybe.
out, it might fault the
I don't
ride.
know.
I have no idea.
I was like, "Eh, it's fine."
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that was fun, and then I ended up going over to El Toro, and this is where it gets fun. So, I had not ridden El Toro in a few years, like I said, the last time I was at Great Adventure was a couple years ago.
Okay.
But my last time riding El Toro, I was not a fan. I was never
Yeah.
a huge fan of that ride,
It
and
looks
me
fun.
saying that right. Me saying that, I'm a big Intamin fan. As you can see behind me, I have 3 Millennium Force posters. So Intamin has always been, like, my favorite manufacturer. So with El Toro being Intamin, I thought, "Oh, it's gonna be awesome," and then I was kinda disappointed when I rode it the first time because I thought it was kinda rough, and I just wasn't a fan of it.
Mhm.
But I'm not sure, like, what exactly all they did to it, but riding it on Saturday, it was amazing. It was not too rough for me. I ended up the crew was actually incredible, so if you are on the El Toro crew and you are watching this video, thank you guys for everything you do. They were literally sprinting across the station, checking
Oh, wow.
bars, and they were doing everything they could to make the train leave the station faster. I mean, they were incredible.
Which is good for a Six Flags park.
Yes, that's why I was shocked. I was like, "This is good." Like,
It's just
wow.
crazy, like, how different Six Flags can be, like, you have one park that's amazing, then another park that's like the ghetto.
Right. And I will say Six Flags America,
I think
yikes.
the one I went to, is that Great America in Gurnee, Illinois?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only
Yeah.
Six Flags I've ever been to.
It's like I mean, that's a decent park, but
I
I think
enjoy myself. I like
yeah.
what was that big wood the white wooden coaster? It's not racer, but it has the twin tracks.
Oh,
American,
American Eagle?
I think so.
Yeah,
That
I
thing's
think it's that one.
fun.
Yeah. No, that one is really fun.
Yeah.
But you definitely need to go to Great Adventure and go ride El
I will
Toro.
someday. These
Yeah.
coasters hopefully aren't going anywhere.
Yeah. So what I thought was kinda cool too was the crew was letting us re-ride if no one was in your row when the train got back.
Well,
So
heck
the first time I ended up riding it 5 times in a row without getting off.
jeez.
Mhm.
Like in the same seat, or if there was one empty, you just go to the
You
next
could
one.
go to a different seat if there was
Okay.
one empty and someone was in your row. So, I think I
Now
was
is
in the
that
same
one
seat for most of them.
okay, now is that ride, is it like 2 bench or 3 benches?
Like, are you saying, like, 3 rows per
Yeah.
car? Or yeah, 3 rows per car.
Okay,
Um,
nice.
so I ended up riding it 5 times in a row, and then I got off, and then walked back around, and then I don't know, I think we went over to Medusa because I wanted to go see it because they rethemed Bizarro to Medusa. And I was kind of upset about that because I really liked the Bizarro theme, so
Yeah.
seeing it as Medusa made me sad. But we ended up going back to El Toro, and I rode it 6 more times in a row without getting off. Yeah,
Gee.
I am absolutely insane, and it's fine,
And
right?
now it's higher in your rankings, right?
Yes, I mean, it's definitely, like I think it's my number 2 wood now after riding it.
What's your
That
number
is
one movie?
The Voyage.
Voyage, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
After
counting
Hollywood
OMCs.
Nights last year, Voyage, as much as I love Beast, so for those of you watching
Yeah,
or listening,
yeah.
Beast will always hold a place in my heart. But I got 40 rides. It was 40 or 46.
Oh my
I don't know,
gosh.
somewhere around there. Yeah, during Hollywood Nights last year, I
That's
was
insane.
so wore out. My body was aching,
Mhm.
but I kept getting off and running around. It was so much fun. And
That's
there were a couple,
insane.
yeah. There was a couple of times where we would just stay on and ride if there was no one in a row, which is very rare for Hollywood Nights. It was closer to
It
the end.
is.
Yeah, but
That's
I
so
had so
cool.
much fun. Unfortunately, I'm not going this year.
Me neither.
That's this weekend,
Yeah, I
right?
think it is this weekend. I
This Friday.
believe so, yeah. One of my
Or,
friends mentioned it.
yeah.
Yeah, the last time I was at Hollywood Nights, I think was the year Thunderbird opened. So that
Oh
was
wow.
what, 2015 or 2016?
Don't know off the top of my head, but yes, probably.
I think I think it was 2015 or yeah, I wanna say it was 2015, and then I went the next year, 2016, with my family. So I
Okay.
think yeah, that was around the last time I was at Holiday World, which obviously
Yeah,
it's been a while.
I personally like Holiday World. It's only 3 hours, so
That's
uh,
not bad.
no, it's not.
I
Yeah.
need to go back to ride the new coaster, Good Gravy.
Good gravy. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it looks really
haven't.
good.
Yeah, it does. I probably won't get there this year, but definitely next year.
I really wanna try to go this year, but I mean, I have so much going on, I don't know that that's gonna
I mean, if
happen.
they stayed open later in the year,
Yeah,
well, hang on.
it's
Let me see here. Holiday World.
are you checking their hours?
I am since I have this cool technology in front of me.
I mean, I
Let's
could probably
see.
do it too.
I can. Let's see. Holiday World. Look at that. There we go.
Ooh.
All right, no, I don't want to sign up for. I acknowledge this. Okay, so let's see here. We're looking at hours.
Also, funny enough, my friends who I took to Cedar Point the other
Yeah,
day, they're at Holiday World right now, or they were at Holiday World today.
I'm jealous. Well, today's
Yeah,
what? Okay. Yeah, sold out. Sold out. I wonder what. Oh, school groups only. Okay.
hmm.
Yeah, they're only until 7. So I wonder month wise how late they're actually open. June, July, August.
They don't stay open very late.
Do they do a Halloween event? It
I
looks like they do. That's
don't?
what the bat is, right? That's what the
I
um
would
yep,
happy
here we
Halloween.
go. Happy
Okay,
yeah. I didn't know they did. So I assume that runs through October. Okay. Well,
yeah.
do they do a Christmas? No. So their last day of operation is Sunday, October 27th.
I think that's the last day for Cedar Point too,
Is it?
right?
Oh yeah. That'll be last day for Cedar Point and the last normal operation day for like Kings Island, but
Yeah,
at least we got Winterfest for Chaos.
yeah, that is
Uh,
true.
but yeah,
Yeah, I need to go back there to Holiday World. I would like to this year, but I don't think it's gonna happen just because I have a lot of other stuff already kinda
you have
planned.
more important things like Disney and Disney.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and don't forget Disney.
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
All right.
But yeah, so we were talking about El
Your
Toro and then
yeah, and then your trip. Did you go anywhere after Six Flags?
yeah, so and I was gonna mention too, so I rode El Toro 2 more times
Oh,
after the 6 that I after the 5 and then the 6, I rode
so
2 more of
how
those.
many total did you get?
13.
13 rides. That's
I had actual bruises on my thighs the next day.
hey. When I rode Voyage over 40 times, I had bruises too. I ain't gonna lie.
Mhm. It was I mean, it felt so good, like, it hurts so good,
Well,
but
because your body
yeah.
starts getting beat up, you're like, oh,
Mhm.
what's another 20
Yeah.
rides?
Yeah, it was a really good day at Six
Yeah.
Flags.
My
Which
my
I feel like
my
I don't
bruises
say that
were on my
often.
arm because of how deep the seats
Oh,
are.
yeah,
Mm,
I know exactly what you're talking about because
yep,
I
and
think
then the
when
big
I rode
divider.
voyage a bunch too. Yeah. So the next day, so I ended up staying with my aunt and uncle. They live in New Jersey, so they weren't too far from Six Flags.
Okay.
And then we drove to Wildwood because I wanted to do the boardwalk and I wanted to go to Maury's Piers because they have 3 different piers over there, 7 different coasters. So I wanted to get on all of that. My opinion of Wildwood, I probably won't go back.
Really?
So it was expensive. I had to pay, I think it was like $90 to ride 7 coasters. And that was, yeah,
90?
yes.
Jeez.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
thank
I'm
you.
crazy and wanted the credits, so here we are. But
Yeah,
I'm up
well,
to,
okay, if you've never been there, then yeah, it's fine, but if that's, like, your
yeah.
home park and you pay, like, $90 every visit or
No.
did they have, like, a pass?
I think they had a pass that you could get too, but they wanted $120 for an unlimited rides wristband or something. And I said, no, I'm just going to ride them each once and be done. There was nothing there that I was really that excited about. So it was kind of one of those just one and done type of places. And it was really busy, the boardwalk. I don't know. It was too busy. It was
I've
a,
never
you
really
know,
been to a boardwalk park.
it was a holiday weekend, so probably why it felt so busy, but I probably won't go back there ever again. It was one of those just one and done
One
parks
and
and
done. It's
mhm.
like in Vertigo, one and done.
Yeah, agreed. We don't like in Vertigo.
Yeah.
But now I'm up to 446 coaster credits after that trip.
I
So,
am somewhere like, I don't know, 118 or 125. I gotta go back and count.
oh my gosh. Yeah, I went back and I was going through some of my parks and I noticed that I didn't have some of the credits like put in yet. So I
Yeah.
don't remember what I said last time on the show, but now I'm up to 446. So which kind of leads me to what I was going to tell you that I'll talk about next week. So, my next big trip, I will actually be going to Europe.
Wow.
Yes. My best friend and I will be leaving, I think it's whatever that Saturday is, June 8th, I wanna say. So it's
Oh,
the
so like
Saturday
in
after
2 weeks.
Coaster Mania. Yeah, it's less than 2 weeks away now. I know.
Well, that
So
will be fun to talk about.
yeah, I'll kind of talk about, like, where we're going and everything the next time, and
Yeah,
this
maybe we can do that next week. Yeah, just
yeah,
be more.
and I don't know if are you doing anything this weekend at parks, or what's your plan?
So today is what, Wednesday the
Thursday or
29th.
Wednesday, yeah. I don't know why I'm
Wednesday, yeah,
thinking it's
right.
Thursday.
Hey, I wish it was Thursday. No, just staying local. We're going to KI tomorrow night for dinner, Friday for dinner.
Oh, you got to see the
um,
fireworks show.
yeah,
I've
I
not
did. Oh
seen
yeah,
it
so let
yet.
me talk about that really
Yeah,
quick. So last night I ran up to the park really quick. I got there about 8:45. Like, okay,
okay.
how much can I do in 80 minutes? I got there. I waited about 12 to 15 minutes for food. That was the longest line I waited in. So then by this time
Oh,
it's a little after 9. I
okay.
rushed over to Snoopy's Soapbox Racers. I really wanted to ride that. I'm thinking, okay, 9 o'clock on a Tuesday night. This line's not going to be long. No, it was at least an hour. And I don't really know operations on that yet
Yeah,
because it's a brand new ride. I haven't waited for it. I haven't really observed it. And with running one train, that's going to be one of
yeah,
those that
you
I'm going to ride either first thing in the morning or I'll wait for the last train of the night.
mhm.
But so I said, screw that. Ran over the Diamondback, waited about 5, 6 minutes for Diamondback. I and at this point, I've rode all these rides so many times. I don't give two craps where I sit. Right.
I'm the same
So
way.
I get on Diamondback, get off, get my photo, and then I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, what's gonna be quicker? Because I wanted to ride Orion, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, I don't really want to go over there.
Yeah,
Um, But
That's fair.
let me back up really quick. So like I always like looking at the lines for Mystic and Beast while you're going up Diamondback's Hill. So that's a little pro tip here. That saves you some time. So I looked down. Mystic's line was back wrapped around. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to that. I know Beast is
Yeah,
close.
it's long.
So what's my next best option? I don't want to ride Stunt Track. I don't want to ride Orion. So what's the quickest way to Racer? So I actually went out of the Diamondback Photoshop, cross planted Snoopy in front of Blue Ice Cream. Then I went to the left, so in between the band stage and Eiffel Tower, went past the VIP lounge, and that was actually a quicker way. Of course, I'm like power walking.
You're like, I gotta get this ride in.
Yeah. So I'm like, so I get up to Racer. I'm like, oh my God, there's no wait. And only Blue Side was running. So I wanted to ride both because I had more than enough time to ride both. But instead of riding Red Racer, I rode Blue, obviously, sat in the back. And then I went over to Venture Express. No wait for that.
Well, there
Got
you
off
go.
Venture. Went all the way over the Banshee. I have not rode Banshee yet this year. So I got my first ride of the year on Banshee and a night ride. Funny story. The separator, there was no one in line, but he was still separating. So there was a group of like, I don't know, 6 in front of me, and the separator had his back turned. And I was going to ask him if I can just get in because row 5 had 3 people, and he didn't hear me. So the person in front of me, I said, "Excuse me," and I just cut through, and I got on row 5. Like I could have, So that saved me from being able to stop and actually watch the fireworks. So I got off Banshee, got my photo.
Wait, I have a side note about that. So
What?
the whole separator thing.
Yeah.
So this is up for debate. So I want everyone to comment and say what position or what they would call that position. Is it a separator or a grouper? Because I have had
Grouper.
so my 2 friends that live down in Florida, the ones that went to Cedar Point with me, they worked at Universal in rides for many years, and they worked at Busch Gardens, Tampa. And we have this ongoing like argument. I call it a separator and they call it a grouper.
Because that's
So
what
I
they
want to
call it.
know. Yeah, so I want to know everyone's opinion. Is it separator or grouper? And
I mean,
also, well, I
sorry.
mean, it well, no, I was gonna say also the separator at Dorney, at Demon Drop had so it sits 4 across.
Okay.
And this person had 3 groups of 2. And I was by myself and I'm like, can I go in there so I don't have to wait a whole 'nother cycle? And he just gave me like the deer in the headlights look and then asked the group if it was okay, and I'm like, "Of course it's okay." I mean, I'm not even sitting next to them, but yeah. But yeah, so I understand you, like, just kinda cutting in because I kinda did the same thing. I'm like, "I'm not
No,
gonna
yeah.
wait."
No, well, so like a separator, I think they only call it that at Cedar Fair because you're separating fast lane and regular lane. I have no idea.
Maybe,
I
I don't
do
know.
know, at least at Kings Island, the first ride to ever have that was Diamondback. Because prior to 2009, Cedar Fair only took over the park for a couple years. So when they had Diamondback, they had the single rider line. So there was someone there assigning seats because I remember that they actually took the signs down up until last year. It said preferred seating not guaranteed or something like that. I don't know.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like ever since that, and then you might you have more history on Cedar Point than I do, but I don't know. Has Cedar Point always had those?
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I've been
because
going for a while, but I don't remember. I feel like
yeah,
they've had them for a bit.
yeah. So fun little side fact: I used to work at Kings Island in 2012 and 13. I worked Diamondback, and back then you could just fill this. What I did was I filled the station to literally like where you couldn't let anyone else in there, and then what
Yeah.
I would do, I would let it empty up and down so where there's no one in the station. Then I would fill it. That would keep the line moving,
That's
and
what they used to do.
yeah, but now if you've noticed the last couple of years, is you fill one train, wait until the gates close, then they load another train. I mean, I guess I get it for more of a safety thing. That's what I would assume. but like same
I
time,
feel like it's not efficient because half the time they
no,
don't
it's
fill
not.
the
Well, and
train.
there's so many empty seats.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like, they don't fill the train because
Yeah,
they're not ready. So I feel
but
like they should
yes,
at least have 2 groups lined up, in my
yeah,
opinion, but
I have no idea. But yeah,
so
so
anyway,
after
you're at a
no, you're
band.
good. So after Banshee got my photo, but okay, it's literally 9:55. So
Okay.
the Banshee ice cream stand out there. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna grab my icy for the night. So again, I don't really complain about parks because I have no reason to. But I go up to get my icy. The guy scans my pass. He's like, "What flavor?" I told him the flavor. Then he hands me the cup, and I'm like, "Can I have a straw?" And then he's like, "What do you mean a straw?" I'm like, "The red straw that goes with ices." And then he's like, "We don't give out straws."
Wait, what?
So, yeah, okay. So, and then I'm like, what do you mean? I've been here a lot this year. Like every stand has the red icy straws with a little spoon on the bottom. And then
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, we're out of those." So
Wait,
I'm just
what?
sitting there, so I'm just sitting there thinking, I'm like, why didn't you just say that? So
Yeah.
then what's even more funny, he's like, you can use a spoon. So I hit the little spoon thing and it's empty.
Oh my
And then I'm
god.
like, do you have any spoons? And then he's like, oh, I'll just go to the middle one. So I go to the middle and there's obviously a spoon. But
Okay.
I'm just sitting there like that like 30 seconds where like it didn't click. I was asking for a icy straw.
You're asking way too much of this man.
Yeah, I know. But anyways, it's like 9:57. I go up
Mhm.
past International Street. I run to the bathroom really quick. Then I get in, not get in line. I stand right to the side of the fountain because I feel like if you're more in the middle, that's where everyone is. But if you're looking to International Street, you stand to the right just a little
Yeah.
bit. So you're still more in the middle, but you stand a little bit to the right. That's the perfect area because I personally like the fireworks better than the drones. The drones just kind of add that extra, oomph to the show. Um, but yeah, as far as the Under the Stars, that's what it's called, Under the Stars. It's definitely better than last year. Last year was a Ventura Wait. Definitely better than last year's. Not as good as the 50th, which no
The
show.
50th was so good.
The 50th was the best.
Mhm.
But one thing I noticed this year is there's a couple spots in the show where, and it was just my first time. I don't know. It might just be me being me, but where they were more of the drones than fireworks. And what's everyone doing nowadays? They want to save money. So it's
Yeah.
cheaper to fly the drones and do
Than to do
different
fireworks.
patterns than it is
Yeah.
to light off a bunch of fireworks.
Mhm.
The music selection was okay. I did go live on Facebook, so if you're watching this and you were there for the live, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. But it seems like some of the drones were out because it does
Oh.
Vertigo, Diamondback, Banshee, and Beast logos, and it's like when they do the logos, it's like half like the accent, so like the outline of the wording or the picture was like off. I don't know.
Oh.
But yeah, so that was my night last night. I had fun, rode 4 coasters, had dinner, watched fireworks. Can't complain. I'll be there this weekend with the family.
Sounds like a good night.
Yeah, it was for 80 minutes, and it
Yeah.
was fun to do. Like, what can I do in 80 minutes? Is it worth coming up? So I could do a whole video on it, but so like if you get there, I believe it's at least obviously an hour. I believe it's around 8 o'clock. Don't quote me on this. Maybe a little bit after 8. They open the parking tolls, so you don't have to pay to park. You don't have to scan your pass. So what's that also mean? You get free preferred
Oh,
parking.
yeah?
Yeah, so when I got there, I didn't have to walk 500 miles. And the parking
Alright.
lot was decently full. But yeah, other than that, I believe we're going Saturday morning.
Okay.
Saturday's June 1st, so it'll be Snoopy Soapbox Racers actually on the ERT lineup for June. So I'm taking my family and we're gonna book it there. We're gonna try to ride that first. My son Owen, see, there's so much I could talk about. We went on Monday after we got back from our camping trip, and the new Beagle Scout area or Beagle Scout Acres, He loved it. Those of you who don't know, I have a 3-year-old son. He loves being outside.
He's adorable.
Thanks. But I made a video of the whole area, and he's in a couple clips. He loves it. A few things I would personally change if I was the park. They have a gate on there. I think there should be at least one, maybe at minimum 2 employees there just to watch it, because anyone can walk in there. I don't think you should be able to have drinks in there because I saw a couple of people spill ices and it's on that turf. And
Yeah,
I doubt they're cleaning that. And then another thing, as much as I hate to say it, I think there should be an age limit. My son's 3, and this kid had at least been 12 or 13, but just walking along with his shoes off, like up a slide, and my son's waiting to slide down. It's just like, come on. I mean, I'm sure sooner or later it may be something. I don't know. Just those little things. Other than that, Camp Snoopy, great addition. I did get to try out Pigpen's mess hall. I'll talk about that just a little bit. I got the hot dog and I got the mac and cheese with the bacon bits on it. It was okay. Would I eat there every time? No. Every couple times? Maybe. There's better places to eat in the park. I did get to try what's it called? Pigpen's. Actually, I think I have a photo of this. Pigpen's.
Now, was that on the meal plan?
The peanut butter jelly, the pie thing? No, it was not. That was it was about $5.60, I believe.
Okay.
Hang on, I got a photo of it here somewhere. I just gotta find it. Where is it? Okay, here it is. So let's see. Download. We will go to what's this slide? Actually, let me do this. Share download. All right. Yeah, so it was good. It was fresh. It was warm. I cut it in the 4s. I ate 2 halves of it. I got mainly so my whole family could try it, but they
makes sense.
They didn't. They didn't want to try it.
They didn't want to try it.
My daughter tried it. Okay, let me see if this will work here. If I can share, present, share screen. And, here we go. Is this popping up for you?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you can see that. Okay. All right. Yeah. So as you can see, it's what's on the top of it. It was like raspberry. I don't know, but there's raspberry. There's powdered sugar, and it's deep fried. It was very good. I had no.
It looks really good.
It was warm. It was fresh. It was gooey. I love a good peanut butter and jelly sandwich, not just light toppings. I like I like a good peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But to top it off with the stuff on there, it was really good.
I kind of want to try one when I go.
Yeah, it was very good. But it's not on the meal plan.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, what's next week? I'll have Cedar Point in about, we'll just say the 29th, less than a month, somewhere around the 20th, I believe, is when we're leaving. Other than that, I just got Kings Island weekly.
I am going to Orlando on Saturday morning, and I think I'm just doing SeaWorld for the day.
You go to Orlando?
No way, right? No. I think I'm just doing SeaWorld for the day.
Right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I just renewed my SeaWorld pass, so I figured I would go back because I haven't gone that much this year. So I'm doing that with my friend, and then maybe Kings Island on Sunday.
Let me know. I'll try to go. Well, let me ask you really quick. How many passes to different parks do you have?
So I have Cedar Fair, Six Flags, SeaWorld, and then I have Disney.
Do you have a Disney? You got Disneyland too?
I almost bought one, but I stopped myself because I kind of was
You just stopped yourself.
well, my thought was if I had been able to buy it before I went at the beginning of March, it would have
Okay.
made sense, but after I went and used my tickets, they wouldn't let me upgrade it, which they weren't even selling the passes when I went,
That's
so
right. Isn't it called
yeah.
the Is it the Incredipass? Is that the name of it?
That's the one I have at Walt Disney World, but
Okay.
it's the Magic Key passes or whatever they're called. But I thought about getting one because you know me, I love Disneyland and it's
Yeah.
expensive, but they wouldn't let me upgrade my tickets after I used them, and I said, "Well, you guys didn't even have passes online for sale when I bought my tickets, so I didn't have an option." So
Yeah.
I was kind of upset
I
about that.
don't know that much about Disney like you do. Yeah, but all I know is I'm going back this fall for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, which I haven't really announced that on FYE yet. But if you're listening to this,
Now they know.
I know.
And I'm
Uh,
going the week after for Mickey's Not So Scary.
Surprise!
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm very excited. For a lot of firsts for me. First time flying, first Halloween party, first trip, just my wife and I, because we have kids.
Wow.
So, yeah, so it'll
That'll
be
be
fun.
nice.
Can't
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I got one more thing. One of my friends from Pittsburgh, she's coming down next Thursday. So I'll
Are
be
you
at
doing KI?
Yep, I'll be at Kings Island all day. So you can catch me there next Thursday. What would that be? The 7th, I believe.
I
One,
think the
two,
7th is Friday, right?
the
Because
sixth.
I'll be at Coaster Mania on the 7th.
Ooh, okay. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Well, we both have a fun, busy next month plan slash summer. Um, And as always, I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else, Jenny?
No, I think we've talked a lot tonight about
We
stuff,
have
so
this episode should be at least almost an hour, maybe
probably.
a bit shy. After I have to edit this, but if you guys like this video version, I have no problem doing this in the future. It's a lot easier because like if you have ever tried to edit video or sound, it's a lot easier to edit video than it is sound because sound you have to actually listen and piece together. Like when I edit this, it's just like, hey, I cut off the beginning where we started. If there's any, editing in the middle, yeah, I have to listen and watch the whole thing. I do that for my videos anyway, but it's just easier because audio you can't see audio, so you have no choice but to
Right.
listen. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's hard, but this I can pull the audio from the video after I cut the video, so it's like a 2-in-1 deal. So I edit the video, and once that's done, I know the audio is good, right? So then I just pull the audio from that and I can upload it in a separate audio clip. I will try that. I don't know when this video will be up because I do have to edit this on my computer. I don't have anything going on tomorrow night besides KI. I don't think we're staying the whole night. But I will probably edit this tomorrow night. So it should be out Friday. So if you're listening, watching this Friday, thank you. Appreciate it. If you guys like this, let us know. If you have any questions for Ginny or I, definitely let us know. You can reach out to us on all social media. Grease Chain Podcast is a branch off of Fye Coasters. So if you've been following us on there, really appreciate it. But yeah, I don't have nothing else.
I don't have anything else either. Just thanks for watching.
Yeah, and this is it'll turn into something, I'm sure. I just enjoy talking about coasters and the theme park world.
Me too.
Yeah. Well, until next time, I'm Josh.
And I'm Jenny.
This is the Grease Chain Podcast. Bye.
Bye.